I've got some projects coming up and I've always wanted to learn how to TIG weld. So I went to Amazon and researched and bought the things that I needed to learn how to TIG weld. I'm old school, and this is vintage Harleys Revived. You know, I bought the welding table and I thought it was kind of an extravagance. It's only $189 and it comes with everything you need to hold metal down to it. As I begin this process, I realize it isn't an extravagance at all. It's actually a necessary part to be good at this skill of TIG welding. You've got to have a place to put your metal that is grounded and clean, and a place that when you make your mistakes, like I did, welding something to the table, you can actually get that thing loose, grind it clean, and have a clean surface again. Certainly something that I've learned in this process is you have got to have clean surfaces, clean metal. Otherwise, unlike MIG or stick, TIG welding requires a clean environment. Your filler rod's got to be clean. Your metal that you're using has got to be clean. And the surface that you're welding on has got to have a good connection to that which you're welding. So I decided in this process that it's not a extravagance. It's actually a necessity. I set a budget at $500 and did the research on YouTube, and then went to Amazon and got everything that I thought I would need, and I came in just under that $500. Amazingly, you can buy a TIG welder, the cheapest one on Amazon, which is what I got, for $90. And it's not much, and you think to yourself, at least I did, I'm probably going to have to replace this pretty soon. The Thulium TL1355LT Pro 110 volt welder. This is supposed to be a stick and TIG welder. And I gotta tell you, confidence is not running high. This thing, I thought it was like twice as big in the box, and it's not. It's just like a little bitty baby thing. A little small. So we'll go with this. We're gonna weld with it today. If it welds, we're gonna weld with it today. As I begin to unpack everything that came along with the TIG welder, you know, the important things, or the things that I need today, are the hose, the torch itself. Of course, it had the things for the stick and the instructions, which I threw away. I need the ground clamp, I need the torch, I need the hose, I need to connect the gas line to the tank. Of course, the welder came with the supplies, collets, nozzles, etc., but I went with a stubby glass lens kit from recommendation of a video I watched, and I'll link that in the description. Of course, then we need a regulator to regulate the flow of 100% argon to the TIG welder torch, and that requires a regulator. I bought a RX weld regulator for $28 off of Amazon. We need 15 to 20 cubic feet per hour of flow. A full tank is around 2,000 psi, and these two gauges show you both of those measurements. Of course, check everything with soap water to make sure you don't have any leaks. Next is to grind the tungsten. I'm using gray 3/32 tungsten and looking to get a 3/16 grind, kind of like a pencil tip. Now, to put together the torch with the stubby glass lens kit and insert the sharpened tungsten took me quite some research and a little bit of time to kind of figure it out. And if you look close, I put the collet in backwards, not knowing any better. Double checking all my settings, my flow rate, my stick out of 1/4 to 5/16 of an inch, setting my welder at 100 amps. There's a spec of 1 amp per 1,000th of an inch of thickness. I go to strike my first arc and it sticks, and I figure out pretty quickly that I've got that collet in backwards and my tungsten's not holding in my torch. So here's the first arc and the first weld, and it's, it didn't turn out too bad. It penetrated through both sides of the metal, and I was fairly happy with that result. So full of confidence that I got this, I crank it up to 110, which was too high, and it's pitted and it looks bad, not as good as the first one. So here we go. I'm going to try for the first time to add some filler rod and join 2 pieces of metal together, and it doesn't look great. It did join it together. So I go at it again and I end up welding that thing to the table. We're striving for good content, and I am so glad to have you here with me. My name is Old School. Be good to yourself, and we'll see you next time on Vintage Harleys Revived.